Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we've got a brand new speaking test, so let's get started. Before I start though, in case you haven't subscribed yet, please do, that really helps us out. And in case you've got any feedback, comments, suggestions, whatever, leave it down below. That being said, let's begin. Question 1. What kind of decoration do you prefer? So my interior decoration style kind of veers towards the Rococo style or Baroque style. In fact, that's kind of my ideal. I mean, if you ask me right now what my, home looks like, of course, it's kind of a mishmash of different styles. But ideally, that's what I would do. I enjoy a lot of, classical art from that 1700s, 1800s era. And a lot of this, we call, what's that thing called? It's called a fleur de lis. That's French, of course. But there's this, it's very ornate. It's all very extra, There's a lot of light colors being used. It's very kind of airy, kind of feminine. This is the kind of stuff you'd see, for example, in really old castles and stuff like that. So yeah, that's like my ideal, curvy chairs and tables and everything's, cute and fancy. I love that. What's your favorite color when decorating your home? So, yeah, I love red. I mean, my table right now is red. My keyboard is white and red. My table lamp is red. My Mac is, of course, rose gold pink, but that's because I didn't have red. But yeah, I mean, pretty much my headphones are red as well. My cup is red as well. So I love red. I love not just red. I like dark green. I like copper, black, gray, dark blue as well. So generally darker colors or jewel tones. I love those. I don't like bland, really light colors that just don't have any life in them. So red anyway, it's just very lively. So especially in the office, I think that is perfect for me. If I had like a black table or blue table or something, I wouldn't really like it. I don't think it has like a huge impact, but for me anyway, I find that all these tiny things are also very important. So yeah, when it comes to personal choice and decoration, if I had to choose a color, I'd probably always go with red. At this point, I have a lot of red around me, but I like it. It kind of energizes you. Do people in your country like redecorating their homes? Yeah, this is very common. People will, every like every 2 or so years, people will repaint their homes, and every couple years change all the furniture. Of course, you can't say broadly general because everyone's different after all, but yeah, a person's home has a lot of value. So people are really proud of their homes and how they decorate it and how they, take care of it. So that's a big, big deal. I mean, we have these huge furniture markets. IKEA does not hold a candle. This is why IKEA isn't so successful in my country, because we've got local markets. We've got artisans who create amazing, beautiful things out of wood, out of metal, and all of that. We've got a great, thriving industry. So interior design decoration is huge here. People love, decorating their homes, apartments, even redecorating after just a couple years. That is in fact pretty normal for a lot of people that I know. Of course, it could be different for other people, but that's what I've experienced. What's the new decorating trend for this year? I have no idea. I don't follow trends in fashion. I don't follow trends in interior design. So I am clueless. I mean, I'm probably the worst person to ask this because I don't like, buy magazines. I don't check all this stuff online. I think people need to develop their own personal style, because that's authentic. Otherwise, they're just following trends and, oh, I painted all my walls baby green just because a magazine told me to do it. That's so silly. And then what are you going to do next year? Are you going to change that? You know how we have all these Pantone color of the year things? And every year it's a different color that's supposedly, in trend. And I don't know, I find that very odd. So yeah, I have no clue. I'm absolutely clueless as to what the trend is. I'm kind of weird in that sense that if I find out that something is trending, I might just not, wear that or do that I don't know why I'm like this, but yeah, I'm kind of very staunchly opposed to following trends. Okay, let's go on to part two. Describe someone you know who loves cooking. Well, that's a very simple question. You should say, who is this person? How do you know him or her? What kind of food he or she cooks? And explain why you think this person loves cooking. So, the first person that comes to mind is my mother. She will cook all kinds of things, honestly. I guess that's just how moms are, right? But she really does enjoy cooking all kinds of things. I mean, I remember she had this huge book, this really, really thick book. I think it was like 1,000 pages or something. A really old book, of course, but we had that, and she would regularly make, all kinds of new things when I was young. And now as well, if she sees something online or in a video or something like that, she'll be ready to try it out. She's never afraid of taking risks, when it comes to cooking. So there's always new, flavor combinations. There's always new ways of doing things. Let's try this, let's try that. Especially with, sometimes I might feel like, oh, this isn't gonna work out. But then she'll say, well, just try it, and it works out. So there really isn't one specific type of cuisine because, like I said, she's very open minded. And so anything that looks good, that seems like, oh, this is a good idea, especially if something is, like healthy, like it's got lots of like seeds or nuts or something like anything that's like low carb, for example, low oil, etc. She'll definitely try that. And I don't really know why, because, well, for some people, cooking is kind of relaxing. Or, well, it's just fun because, I'm going to eat this delicious thing. So that's also why I would cook. But yeah, that's probably why. That's probably why she enjoys it. Also because she's just generally a creative person. So, and that creativity, of course, extends to a lot of other regions, not just cooking, but even like interiors or fashion, stuff like that. Um, so yeah, just in general, like cooking for people, kind of, it's a nurturing activity as well, and she enjoys doing it. I mean, it's not just me, she'll cook for other people as well, and that's just, a thing, that's just a characteristic. I also enjoy cooking, probably not as much, though I find it sometimes a bit annoying because everything takes so much time and all that. And so yeah, I probably don't enjoy it as much. I enjoy baking a lot more, but mom loves cooking. Yeah. Okay, let's go on to part three. Why do people cook for others? Well, this could have something to do with their nurturing tendencies, or again, could just be a pure hobby. Why not? So everybody's got a different thing that they like. I like baking, for example. Um, and it's also a way to show off your skills, right? So that's another thing. You can show off your skills to people. You can show, for some people, it's how they care for other people, right? Everybody has a different way of showing how they care for people. Some people might buy things, some people might spend time, some people might use physical touch, some people might do things like cook for someone. So there's a whole bunch of reasons why you might cook, especially if you're a parent, for example. Well, you have to, no one else is going to do it for you. I mean, unless you hire a chef or something, but that's obviously not the case for most people. So yeah, I mean, if you have a kid, that kid depends on you, so you must cook for it. But even otherwise, there's people who love hosting, who love, dinner parties and stuff like that. So depends. I think it depends entirely on your character, your interests, your hobbies. Do you agree that food is an important part of the festivals in your country? Oh, absolutely. Food is probably central. I think a lot of these festivals even exist because of the whole, thing that, oh, we're going to get to try all this different kind of stuff. Like we have a huge culture around food, all kinds of, not just like, main dishes, but also side dishes, and especially sweets. My God, we have probably, I mean, as far as I know, we have a huge variety in terms of, the kind of sweets that people make. And each like festival has its own kind of dishes that are associated with it, that are traditionally associated with it. So that's something that I've, grown up seeing. We didn't, as a family, we never really did much of that because, well, first of all, it's too much work and I didn't personally care too much. But of course, I mean, uh, festivals are kind of celebrated within communities. So it's like wherever you go, you probably know friends or family or someone who's celebrating and they invite you and you get to try all these things or you can just buy them, right? Recently we had the Festival of Lights and this is a huge one. So we had, you go to a store and there's all these sweetmeats being sold and you can really just forget your diet for a couple days. Lots of people don't want to cook these days. Why? Well, it takes time. It's so time consuming. I am one of these people that don't want to cook. It's just you think, oh, I have to wash the vegetable and prep the meat and whatever else. You've got to have your mise en place. You've got to have everything arranged and ready. You need to have everything needs to be ready before you actually start cooking, right? And then there's the whole clean up. Oh my God. A lot of people say, oh, you should clean as you're cooking, but I find that very difficult to do. And it's the whole thing is, you create a whole mess and then you have to clean up that mess. And it's just a lot of time. Like it takes you half an hour, maybe even an hour, to cook something. Maybe not like actively, it might just take you 20 minutes, but you have to wait for something to boil, fry, blah, blah, blah. And then when you eat your meal, it's like you eat it within like 15-20 minutes, but it took you an hour to, prep everything, cook everything, clean everything. So I feel like cooking is a waste of time, honestly. Yeah, for some people it's more emotional and they feel like, oh no, the family has to cook. But I would be happy just hiring someone because as long as you're getting your nutritional needs met, I don't really care who cooks. I guess it would be different if I had a child though, then I would want to do the cooking because I wouldn't trust anyone else then. But well, for now, I don't really care. I find that if you can not do something that you feel is a waste of time, then why not? I feel like time above all else is something you need to save whenever possible. So yeah. Is it important to have a meal together with your family? Yeah, nowadays it's not so common, but when I was a child, a teenager, we had, our family table and we'd have dinner together. Lunch, of course, everyone has at their workplace or school, but I think at least one meal together is a nice thing to do because, everybody has their own cell phone and their own laptop and their own rooms and we all kind of just coexist, but we don't, that connection. I feel like just getting together, eating dinner or breakfast, whatever, getting together and watching TV while eating dinner, something like that is nice to do. It's fun. It's definitely fun. And I think, during the pandemic, of course, lots of people discovered that, oh, this is really nice. All of us are together and we can eat our dinner or lunch, whatever, together. And so this practice is kind of becoming more popular nowadays because people are realizing, oh, wow, all this time I didn't do this, but this is actually a lot of fun. It's just like people who like eat alone, they might like watch a YouTube video or something while they're eating. That's kind of a replacement, don't you think, for eating with your family. Plus you get to talk about how your day was and you get to talk about other things and it's a great, bonding exercise in a way. So yeah, I think at least one meal together is important. Otherwise everybody's just disconnected, and that's not a very good feeling. So yeah, that was our test for this week. Don't forget to check back in because we're gonna have another test next week. But meanwhile, we have tons of old videos, so go check them out. And we also have a lot of writing videos, so you'll enjoy those, I'm sure. Until then, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.